If you have a Bernina 880, you are loving the fact that you have a built-in walking foot under the name of the Bernina dual feed. That's the part in the back that as you bring it all the way down, that little lever will come down and sit down in the middle of any of the feet that are labeled with a D for dual feed. So for example, your machine does come with a 1C, which is just a standard presser foot, and a 1D, which is the opening for the dual feed. And so when do you use each one? I want to clarify that. We're going to talk about other dual feet available for this machine and when you want to buy those. First off, I want to show you that a dual feed foot will always have two legs to it instead of a single middle shaft for connecting to the machine. Now here's the other thing. If you are using a D foot, you must pull down that dual feed from the back of your machine and fill in that gap. And if you don't, you really get awful stitching, feeding that is, well, not the Bernina quality that you're used to. So do just make sure that anytime you have this foot on, that there should be a extra set of feed dogs coming down in the middle of the foot. So there are lots of extra dual feed feet available. You can find them in your Bernina accessory guide book. There's everything to know about all the feet in here, including what they're called and if that dual feed is available for your particular machine and model. I would say that most of the time when a dual feed foot is available, such as for the edge stitch foot number 10, that you usually pick that over the coated foot, just because then you'll have that versatility if you are working on fabrics that stretch or fabrics with batting in between, like on quilt blocks. But if you already own the 10C foot or a coated foot, that is okay too. Just note that there could be a better foot for certain situations, and owning both of them wouldn't be a bad thing. But if you don't own one yet, I would suggest that you always pick the D foot. Just again, make sure you pull that dual feed down and engage it to help fill in that top area so it feeds like it should. So people do ask me, well, if I have a Bernina built-in kind of walking foot, do I need a separate walking foot? Well, this is a harder answer for me. Number one, if you already own a Bernina walking foot, I would say keep it. There is a time and place where I would be using it instead of just a standard foot with a dual feed. But I have found that since having a Bernina dual feed built into current models, I don't reach for a walking foot as much as I used to. So I would say use what you have in the dual feed feet categories until you find it's not keeping up with maybe the fabric or project that you're working with. Then take the time to evaluate whether the walking foot would be the right decision. With all this new technology, why not use it? It is something that owning a separate walking foot is a good idea, but most of the time, I'm pretty content with the results that the Bernina 880 gives me with just using the right dual feed foot for the project I have selected to sew.